Yeah, look, I think probably we came in with some very different focuses that weren't necessarily outcome-based for us. I think, we'll always play to try and win. I think we all did that. We're elite teams, and professionals, and that's what you do at this level. For us, probably tonight, finding some other ways to win and what things can we work on that's going to help us with the next game, which is more important. And obviously, as you can see, there's not many games where Izzy plays 26 minutes or, there's obviously been an intent there to manage some loads and try and keep people fresh. But, it didn't mean we didn't try to win. And Townsville were really good, shot the ball really well to start the game. I thought it called that first time out. We made a great run back at them. And they sort of pulled away towards the end of the first quarter. The second quarter obviously was theirs, but I thought second half defensively we were really good, and we made some adjustments that we think are going to be great for us come semi-finals against Perth. So it was good for us to be able to practice some of those things tonight in the game.
So is there's no better chance to do that practice than in the final game of the season? How quickly has the season flown for you as a coach? The fact that we're the finals are next week.
Well, I think when I talk about time, space, and the timeline, for me, it's different for so many reasons this year because, and not to take anything away from the other teams I've coached previously, just I felt like everyone within the playing group, have played their role, coaching staff. Everyone's done their job at a high level. So for me, it's felt like there's been, and not saying there's more management previously, but a lot less of that, those things for me to have to deal with this year. I've been able to really just focus in on coaching and working with this group here. So it's been fun. It's been a really fun process, and I think we all know those who have, spent time in finals basketball or postseason basketball. That's a completely different season entirely. So irrespective of what sort of got us to this point, we know that we've got some great repetitions and we've played some great basketball, and our best is good enough. Certainly we believe our best is good enough to win this thing, and our not so good is why we practice every day, right? That's why we do extras, why we do workouts, why we have team trainings, video, film session, review. So looking forward to that. But yeah, for me, it's just probably flying for those reasons. We haven't banked a whole lot of. Sometimes when you're losing, that can be tough, and it does drag the season out. Or when you're having to manage a lot of things that typically aren't in your wheelhouse as coach, that hasn't been the season for that.
Fantastic, good to hear. I guess what does the next few days look like for you now? I guess turning the focus to the postseason.
Yeah, we've got recovery, review, awards night tomorrow. That's that, and then obviously we're straight back into training, and then we're head to Perth Thursday. So it'll be a pretty quick turnaround. And luckily we just played Perth, so that game's really fresh in our minds, and certainly the group are highly motivated to go to Perth and do what we need to do.
For yourself, how did you find it on court tonight?
It was obviously we were slightly on demand and managing minutes and things like that, but I think we can take some positives out of the game. Like obviously we're planning for Perth, and we can take some positives out of that and try and implement them for the next games ahead.
Sort of just watching it live, it definitely had, I guess, a pre-finals feel to it, a bit of intensity. It was very physical. It felt like the physicality even went up a bit in the second half. A few different instances on the court. Did it feel like that at all, or I guess?
I think so. I think when people play defense physically, that brings a different level of intensity to the game, and I think that's how I like to play the game. And I think that's areas that we can improve on as well. Like I think we can definitely up our defensive intensity, given finals is defense wins games, and I think that's been our standpoint for most of the season, and we've probably had a bit of a lapse towards this back end, and I think if we can get back to keeping teams to lower scores, that will help us against Perth.
How do you sum up the season yourself as a player?
Yeah, I've loved this season. I'm very happy that I've been able to play with some of the girls on the team. I just feel so lucky to be part of the spirit and the organisation, be coached by Kennedy. I think, I'm so grateful for what this season's brought.
Hey guys, it's just Seb from AAP. Izzy, I'll start with you. Obviously, Abby was in charge tonight as the captain with Kelsey out. How did you kind of find her leadership, and did you think she really stepped up into that role?
Yeah, absolutely. Abby's always a leader on the court. I think obviously KG is who everyone looks to, but if KG's not on the court, anything like that, like Abby's who we look to. She's won it before. She's been in the league for a while. She's so respected by her teammates, and so yes, it was a bit different without KG, but we feel so comfortable being under Abby as well.
And Kennedy, obviously just on KG, we know she was out tonight because of load management, but just confirming is she will be kind of fit and firing and ready come next week?
If we all know KG, if there's anyone going to be highly motivated for what comes next, it will be KG. She'll certainly be available. She'll certainly be playing. Battling a bit of the cold as well, so just made sense for us not to have to put on a plane and play. And there's no disrespect to Townsville. We gave them our absolute best tonight, irrespective of the lineup, and we believe whatever lineup we come with. We've been doing that all season, right? I think some people just wrote us off without even Tolo, and well, you know how did that play out for those teams who did that. So she'll be available, Seb. So you'll definitely be seeing KG.
And just final question from me. Obviously, Casey Samuels was in that lineup today. Do you kind of expect her to play her during the finals, or is it still a kind of a wait and see for you guys?
Yeah, there's a couple of smaller things with the loading to get her load right. When you've just been out for that long, I mean, although she's in a position where she can suit up and go through game day rehearsal, she's passed a lot of the testing. It's just building her load to that point where, you know, our responsibility is not just about being able to get one game out of her. It's making sure that whatever game, and when we do inject her into the game, that's going to be for however many years she's able to continue to play for. So there's just that due diligence that we have and that responsibility to her and also to our club. So we want to make sure that when we put her on the floor, she's ready. So you can guarantee that when we do put her on the floor, it's because she's 100% ready to play for the long term, not just for, you know, finals. But she is very, very, I mean, like a hair away.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Kenny, Sammy Smythe here, mate.
Hey, mate.
One question. Obviously, Perth next weekend. What are you going to do different to compared to last Sunday night?
Yeah, it's a great question, Sam. Well, we're gonna deal with that zone. You know, when they roll that out at whatever stage of the game they roll it out, we'll be more prepared for that. Rebounding is going to be important against Perth, and we're certainly just going to have to lock into making sure we take care of some of the shooters. I mean, again, credit Mila had a great game tonight. So did Woody. I just think their skill and, you know, how they go about it is they're very classy players. So, you know, Perth have very similar players, so it's just making sure that we lock into our game plan, and we'll certainly be ready.
And I thought Emma Clark coming off the bench tonight was pretty impressive as well.
Yeah, well, and that's the same. Like, she's a very similar story to Casey. She's had so much time off, and we had to spend a lot of time loading her up to be able to get her to the point where we could play her. So you would have seen her. There was that Sydney game where she suited up, but we didn't put her on the floor. But we'd been training her and building her up for weeks on end prior to that point. And so Casey's in a similar situation. So, but Emma's been great kid, hard worker. You know, built like steel. Loves to play physical basketball, and that's great because in order to be able to compete at this level, as you've seen tonight, you know, two great, highly physical teams playing against each other, you need to be able to deal with the bumps. Thanks, Sam. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.